You do that, but you want to go round again. So you're just going round 3 times.
Yeah.
Once. The second time you want to go that side, but you've got to go through this bit again.
Yeah.
Same as you did start with. So you go in there.
Yeah.
2.
2.
And then the third one you can go round a third time the other side. So it's just going round 3 times, and that knot doesn't slip.
No.
Although you can slide it. So if you decide that we've tied this boat up too tight, you always leave a decent bit of slack in the rope.
Yes.
What you mustn't do, the worst thing you can ever do, is to tie something
Yes.
up like that.
Yeah.
Because if the tide turns,
Yeah.
that will swing round
Yeah.
and it will take the bow out of the boat and everything else. So you always leave a bit of slack in the line.
Yes.
And the lovely thing is to untie it when I come along, I can do that and it just unties very easily. It's ever so easy to untie. So once, second time round like that, third time round like that.
Yeah.
So it's going round 3 times. Do it once more. What you've got to do, this is tying on the bite.
Isn't it?
What I don't want to do is
Makes
to
it look
put,
so
you can
simple.
imagine, you could, and people do, you go through there once like that and you feed all of this rope
Oh
through
my
it,
goodness.
and it's just horrendous, it takes forever.
Yes.
So what you're doing is tying on the bite, it's called, which is, forget that bit, just leave it alone, and you're just tying it as if it was a single piece of rope. So what's going on there, don't worry about that. Once round, doesn't matter which way round, as long as you keep going the same way, but you progress to the other side of it and you come in there. But in other words, you've got to come in through this loop that you produced. You've got to, same as you've gone through there once and to produce it, you've got to come through a second time, and that's the secret of it. It goes in there. And the reason for that is, you'll see, is that it twists that rope, and when it twists that rope, when it pulls tight like that, it doesn't slip. So you've gone round a second time, and then you just tie it round a third time. Same direction, you're not changing direction, and that knot, once it's pulled tight, is absolutely secure, doesn't slide, and you see, it grips. But if I want to slide it, I can slide it. So if you've adjusted one end too tight, too loose, and then look at that, absolutely grips tight.
Yes.
But the other beautiful thing is that if the boat's been, the tide's ripping through and it's really tight, you can see that this bit of the rope is not tight at all, so I'm really pushing that hard. Now most other knots, when you do that, you couldn't undo them, but you can see, keep your fingers out of it, that you can upset this knot under pressure and it will still undo. And that's the problem with all the other knots, like a bowling. It's a marvellous knot, but if it's under strain, the tide's pulling on it, you can't undo it. So this one, we call it a Richmond hitch. It's actually a midshipman's hitch. So if you're in the Navy, it's a midshipman's hitch, but actually it's the Thames Hitch. It's the traditional knot used by boatmen. To get really complicated, we call it a clove hitch, but it's not a clove hitch because everybody else knows a clove hitch is something else. It's a cloven hitch. So the clever bit, try and remember it, call it the cloven hitch if you like. So you go around once like that, go through, and the second time you cleave between there and there. So as you go around the second time, I'll do it again for fresh. You go once like that, the second time round you're cleaving between there and there. It jams in there. So that's the clever bit of it. Third time, lock it off.
Thank you, Mark. So, like,